Everyone, let's solve this question. So check if grid can be cut into sections. So we are given the grid which contains a rectangle, so we should be able to cut this section into either two horizontal or two vertical cuts. So after cutting, there should be these two conditions met. Every rectangle belongs to exactly one section. So every rectangle should belong to exactly one section. So here it is cut into it is cut into two sections, three sections by two vertical line, which is this one and this one. So this belong to section 1, this belong to section 2. There are two vertical rectangles in section 2, and this belong to section 3. And another one is there is at least one rectangle. So in section 1 there is one rectangle, in section 2 there is two rectangle, and in section 3 there is one rectangle. So there are at least one rectangle. So this verified it. So it's always 2. So for this, what we can do is we can take the rectangle that we have, right? Then we can get the x coordinate of each rectangle and the y coordinate of each rectangle. So the x-axis point, x-axis point is okay. So x-axis point is 1 and 5. Okay, x-axis point is, yeah, this is 1 and 5, which is 1 and 5 here. 1 and 5 is 1 and 5. So we can get from the first point and the third point. So we can do the similar to other x-axis point 0 and 2 and 3 and 5 and 0 and 4. Similarly, we can get the y-axis point. Y-axis point will be, so here y-axis point is this one, right, which is 0 and 2, which is 0 and 2, right? So it is 0 and 2, and we can do the similar for other, which is 0, 2 and 4, 2 and 4, and 2 and 3, 2 and 3, and 4 and 5, 4 and 5. Now if we try to merge this, the overlapping intervals here, so our merge x-axis, our merge x-axis point will be, okay, this will get merged to 0 and 5. Again, it will get merged here to 0 and 5, and 0 also 0 and 4 also get merged to 0 and 5. So we only get 1 points. That means we can only cut our this grid at 1 point, which is 5, in this way, which is 5. If you try to merge this at 1, then the rectangle will get cut, right? And if you try to merge this at this point, it's not possible to. And we can only cut this at 0 and 5. So there is only one. Okay, so there is, we only cut it at 1 point, so there is no 2 points. So we can do it at x-axis. Now let's merge our y-axis. Merge y-axis point. If we merge this, so it will be 0. So 0 and 2. So okay, we will only merge if this one is smaller, so this is equal, so it will not get merged. 0 and 2, it will be 2 and 4. Now 2 and 4 will get merged to 2 and 3, so it will be 2 and 4 only, and for this one it will be 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Now for y-axis merge, what we can see is we can divide our grid into 3 sections, which is at 0 and 2, which is at this point, 2, and another one is 2 and 4. 2 is this, and 4 is this. Okay, which is at 4 point, which is 2, 4 at 4, and the one is 5, which is 5. So by doing this, we get like 3 sections, and we also divide, or like we also able to cut our grid into 2 sections, right? So at here and here we were able to cut it, and each of them have like a rectangle. For the third section it has this one, second section 3, and this one, and this one, and the first section this one. So what we notice is, if the length of our merge axis is greater than 2, then we were able to meet this condition. So we can have like if condition here, and check whether if the length of this merge axis is greater than 2, then we can return true. And if this wasn't true, then we may able to merge it in y-axis. We can check the length again. If that is greater than 2, we can return true, otherwise we can return false. So let's go to the code implementation now. So what we can do is we can create our merge interval function is merge interval. So it takes in grid or anything, not grid, so it takes in, let's say, array, right? It will be 2D array. So what we can do is, okay, let's first get x coordinate and y coordinate. So x-axis point is from 1 and 5, so that is for start x, then start start y, and then this is the end x and end y. In our rectangles we need start x and end x, start x and x. So this is our x-axis point. For the y-axis points we can copy it's the same one, and for y-axis point our start will be y and end will be y. So we get x-axis point and y-axis point. Now we have to merge that using this function. So this will be merge x axis point will be, we have to call this merge interval, and we have to pass this x-axis point. And similarly for the y, what we can do is we can make this y, and we have to pass the y-axis point, right? So if length of x-axis merge axis point is greater than 2, then we will return true, and if that's not true then we may divide in y-axis. So if length of merge y-axis is greater than 2, then we return true, otherwise we return false. So let's implement this merge interval now. So before merging we have to sort our array, right? Then our result will be array, and I'll start my result with my 0th index value, which is array 0, and then I will start my iteration for I in range from 1 to length of the array. So the first value is if array ith 0, which is if that is less than arrays -1 and 1, that means in this case we have to merge, right? So that is our array's last position first index value will be max of, so this is the greatest, either this or our first index value here. If not this the case, then we're gonna have to merge that. In this case we can directly append in the result, in the result we can append arrays I, and then we can return a result from here. Let's see if we try to run this. Looks good if we try to run this. Let's see what's this here. So guys, so this should be the resulting array. So this should be res, this should be res, and this should also be res. Now if you run this, then this should work, I guess. So yeah, it's working. Thank you.